So inequality is already a salient issue in DC. People discuss it pretty often, but I think people don't realize that underbanked communities are one of the biggest contributing factors to inequality. And the fascinating part about DC is, if you look at a map of any kind of demographic, income information, you see oftentimes a very clear 16th Street divide, which splits the city into this sort of east-west mentality. And a lot of those underbanked communities are in the wards east of that split. In the District of Columbia, there's a serious crisis with underbanking, particularly in wards like 4, 7, and 8, where over 36% of the population is underbanked. And what that means is they have to rely on alternative finance sources like check cashing, rent to own, as opposed to traditional banks that give them that sense of economic self-determination. So this isn't just the traditional bank, Bank of America, PNC, any that you would know. They're banks that are based in communities and also have at least 60, sometimes upward of 80% of their loans granted to moderate to low income communities. So by using GW's financial resources to back these kinds of institutions, we can really make a significant impact on underbanked communities and the income disparity and inequality in DC. So as a public policy research group for undergraduates, the Roosevelt Institute, and particularly the Bank on DC campaign, is looking at how GW, as an institution that's sort of anchored in its community in DC, can better affect local economies. At GW, we've started with an awareness campaign. We're flyering in places like the Marvin Center and throughout the Foggy Bottom community. We're tabling in Kogan and in other common spaces throughout campus. We're talking to students, members of the community, parents, and any stakeholders involved, because this is an issue that we want people to be educated about. It affects students, faculty, and community members alike, and it's a way of tying them together. Our main ask of the administration at GW is a deposit of at least $250,000 in a community development bank. I stress deposit because it's just shifting money from one place to another. This is not any additional investment. It's taking money out of the national larger banks that we already do business with that are essentially taking that money from the university out of DC and putting it closer to home.